Cool. Okay, so the topic, which is new and I haven't talked about in a long time, is the general notion of forearm rehab stuff. A lot of the trigger points people are getting in their forearms, wrist pain, pulley issues. The issue that I've been looking at it as more recently is an issue of muscle balance. So I've done a couple of videos on releasing trigger points in the forearm, doing some stretches to loosen that stuff up. But the reality is these issues seem to keep on occurring, especially in climbers. So here's the thought, right? If we're pulling all the time and our flexors are working really hard, but our problems are in the extensors, there's a good argument that it's an imbalance in overall tissue strength, that while the flexors are strong enough to support the load, the extensors aren't, as are the bracket here. So if we can strengthen the extensors, a lot of these problems will go away. With that, most muscle groups that work in tandem, flexors, extensors, once they're really out of balance, there's a limit to how strong one group can become. So if our flexors max out on the strength load because the extensors are too weak to keep up, the trick, we could argue, would be to strengthen the extensors. So a few very, very easy extensor items that we can work on. From the knees, I mean, there's a basic push-up you can do. Just kind of you go down, you come up, and you extend onto the fingers, right? Down, up. You could probably just do pops. Pretty easy to light up, and it just looks like extending the wrist, right? I mean, you can do it on a wall, you can do one hand at a time on a bench, just looking at extending and pushing up, getting those extensions. I'm a big fan of doing stuff on fingertips, holding load. I mean, if the flexors are built to grasp, and the extensors are usually most commonly built to stabilize, this wrist moving nonsense that you do with bars and rolling wrists, this isn't a very, very human movement. We don't do a lot of this. So holding stable load works pretty well, or loading the extensors in a pretty safe way. I mean, as you get stronger, that kind of stuff, you can do some variations. Camera pushing. We start looking at things like how much load can you put on fingertips. You start doing like stuff like handstands. So that's the general idea, is working on loading in the extended position of the extensors and getting them stronger to the point that they balance out the flexors. With that, I mean, keep working on overall flexibility of the wrists. Make sure you're stretching it, doing the rehab. Have fun. That's it.